What if the most responsible thing you could do with your money, saving it, was actually a trap? Today, we're digging into why the very foundation of financial security is, for many, a losing game.
So you do everything you're supposed to do, right? You work hard, you put some money aside for a rainy day. You follow all the financial rules you've ever been taught to build that nest egg. And yet, somehow, when you look at it, it feels like you're getting poorer. Not in a big crash, but just quietly, bit by bit. So what is really going on here? Well, that brings us to what we're calling the silent loss. And the whole trick, the reason it's so sneaky, is because it's designed to feel like, well, like nothing's happening at all. Let's just be absolutely clear about this. This system of traditional saving isn't broken. It's actually working exactly the way it's supposed to. And right now, that means your savings are mathematically designed to lose value. To really get this, you have to understand that the rules of the game have completely changed. The world where your parents could just put money in a savings account and watch it grow, that world is pretty much gone. Today's math tells a totally different story. And here is the brutal math in its simplest form. Let's say inflation is humming along at 5%, eating away at your money's value. But your high-yield savings account is paying you, what, 1%? You're not standing still. You are actively losing 4% of your purchasing power every single year. You're going backwards. And over time, that effect is just devastating. I mean, look at this. That $10,000 you carefully saved, yeah, the number in your account still says $10,000 10 years later. But what can you actually buy with it? It only has the purchasing power of about $6,600. You've lost over a third of your wealth just by trying to be safe. So you have to be asking yourself, why? Why is it like this? And here's the twist. This isn't some accident, it's not a bug in the system, it's a feature. It is a direct result of intentional economic policy. That policy starts by changing what your savings even are. See, when you deposit money, it doesn't just sit in a vault somewhere with your name on it. No, it instantly becomes fuel for the financial system. It's someone else's loan, it's someone else's mortgage, because in our economy, money that's just sitting still is seen as a problem. And here's the playbook. To keep the economy moving, central banks make money cheap. They lower interest rates. That encourages people and companies to borrow money. That borrowing leads to spending, and that spending is what drives the whole economic machine. But just think about the logic here. If a system is designed to reward borrowing and spending, what happens to the person who does the opposite? Saving gets punished, not with a penalty, but with returns that are guaranteed to lag behind. This whole dynamic basically splits society down the middle. It creates two totally different financial paths. You are either a saver or you are an asset owner. And the outcomes could not be more different. The saver holds cash, and as we've seen, inflation just eats it for lunch. They lose purchasing power every single day. The asset owner, though, holds things like stocks or real estate, and the very same policies that punish the saver actually inflate the value of those assets. They get wealthier. I mean, it's easy to see why asset owners win here. Low interest rates push up the value of their house. All that cheap money floods into the stock market, growing their portfolio. And get this, the very inflation that crushes the saver actually makes the asset owner's debt easier to pay back over time. The system has a clear favorite. Now, this isn't just about money. It triggers this huge psychological shift in all of us. These policies don't just change our bank statements, they change our behavior. They completely rewrite the rules of risk, creating a world where just being patient can be a very expensive choice. It creates this bizarre paradox that we all live in now. This quote just nails it. The safest behavior feels unsafe. The risky behavior feels necessary. Think about it. The safe thing to do, saving money, now guarantees you'll lose ground. And taking a risk, investing in the market, now feels like something you have to do just to keep your head above water. And this reshapes everything. It creates a generational divide between those who bought assets when they were cheap and young people who are trying to save and just keep falling further behind. It makes taking on debt seem normal. It makes speculation seem rational. And it turns good old-fashioned patience into a financial liability. So if we agree this system was designed, we have to follow the incentives all the way to their logical conclusion. And that means asking the toughest question of all. Now let's be super clear. This isn't about some secret conspiracy. It's not nearly that dramatic. It's simpler and, in a way, more complicated. It's just a series of incentives, of small nudges, all stacked on top of each other over decades, all pointing in the exact same direction. So when you hear people say, saving isn't what it used to be, that's not just nostalgia talking. It's arithmetic. And the thing about arithmetic is it's relentless. It doesn't care about good intentions, and it doesn't care what we think is fair. And that leaves us with one final provocative question. If saving money has become a losing game by design, the question isn't just how it happened, it's why. Who needed the traditional saver to lose for the modern economic system to keep running? And that is a question worth thinking about.